Hi, everyone. So let's do a collective reading today. The energy that I'm picking up on is one of someone's ancestors are here and someone's being very much protected. And it's not just you that's being protected, but it feels like something you believe in or your beliefs themselves are being protected. And it also feels like your ancestors are giving you something. It's like they're giving you the answer to something. So let's see what comes out in the cards just based on what I have so far. So our overall energy is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords she's an excellent communicator. But she is also a receiver, and she is really a receiver of truth. And sometimes I refer to the Queen of Swords as a human lie detector. Like she knows what's true, and she knows when she's being lied to, when she's being jerked around. She's very clear about that. She's been through enough conflict in her life that she knows when someone's playing games. So it does feel like, as this being your overall energy, it does feel like there might be some things going on in your life that might not be totally on the up and up. It might not be completely above board. But I am getting that the things that you are receiving, perhaps messages that you're receiving from your ancestors, I feel like those are the answers that I thought when I sat down. It seems like your ancestors are giving you the answer to something. So I feel like as this Queen of Swords, it feels like you are receiving communication from your ancestors in the form of an answer. So that's already kind of backing up what I thought I was feeling already in the energy. So we're going to push the Queen of Swords to the side because we know that's the overall energy, and we'll refer back to it when we need to. But I would like to see what else comes out in the cards. Six of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Sun. So it feels to me like you may be struggling to have success with something. So again, there may be something that you don't have the answer to yet. And that may be why I was picking up at this energy that your ancestors are going to provide you with the answer. But it feels like there's something that you're working on, something that you're doing in your life that you just feel like you're not quite receiving the victory that you thought that you were going to. I'm also getting the impression that maybe you're trying to make a fresh start with something, but you're failing to embrace something about this fresh start. You can't make it until you have these answers. So I'm kind of slogging through this energy right now, but I'm trying to get it right. And I'd also like to see what else comes out. But there is something here about you not being able to really have success with something, and maybe kind of false starts. With the Two of Cups falling here, I do feel that whatever you're working on, there's a partnership involved. So if it's work, it's a work partner. If it's friendship, it's a very close friend with the Two Cups. Or if it's a romantic interest that we're talking about, it does feel like there is another person involved, and there's a foundation here with this other person. But it is giving this feeling, because I do want to say that it feels like there's something about a fresh start here, that it feels like whoever this is in your Two of Cups energy, that it's something that's just beginning to bloom between the two of you. So that may be why I'm feeling like you don't feel victorious quite yet with this person, or you don't feel like you're getting a good start with this person. Even though the foundation is there for the two of you, it just feels almost kind of new. The sun is here, which means in the past, you have really very much so enjoyed your time with this person. But again, I'm getting this feeling that the universe has put you on pause. Like the universe has said no, or at least not now. Wait, postpone, hit the pause button, whatever you have to do. It feels like this relationship, and it's feeling like it could be a relationship. It could be a romantic relationship. It just feels like the universe has really just hit the brakes on this, pulled the handbrake on it. So maybe we can find out more about what's going on, but let's look underneath. So we have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Moon. So it's interesting we have the sun coming with the moon. So, but let's back up. Let's start with this Three of Swords here. It does feel like there's some kind of a growing conflict between the two of you. And it seems like you're both kind of committed to that conflict. And what I mean by that is it seems like you both are, it's this feeling that you're both insisting on being right, and therefore it's not being resolved. With the Queen of Wands here, it's really giving the feeling that you're both very, very confident people. And like when you're having a good time together, you're having a great time. And if you're having conflict, it's a really big, robust conflict. So it's giving this big feeling, big energy of this relationship where you're both coming in as the Queen of Wands. It's giving this very fiery energy. It's like a very fiery element energy, like almost like an Aries type of energy, although that does not have to be either one of your signs. I'm just telling you like the nature, the personality of the relationship itself is very big personality, and it's coming from both of you. And that may be why we're getting the sun and the moon here, because again, it's giving this sense that when things are good, they're really, really good. And when they're not, they're really, I wouldn't say really, really bad, but they're intensely bad when things are bad. It's like a blow up type of energy is what I'm really sensing here. But again, I can't help but feel, and I think it may be because we have two majors coming out here together, and they're kind of the antithesis of each other. The sun and the moon have very different meanings, regardless of how you read them. And so I can't help but feel, again, as I said when I first sat down, that it feels like your ancestors are here and that your ancestors are protecting this relationship. So let's keep going. This is interesting. The Magician, the 10 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords. So you are certainly manifesting this person. It does feel like this is an important energy for you, and that this is really something it feels like you want. And that you really want this to come together. And I think it's because you know the potential. The Magician is all about potential. And so it feels like you know that this person can be your person, but you also kind of know that there's still a lot of work to be done, regardless. So it's giving that impression. And again, there's another major here. So it's giving the feeling that this is a really big, important relationship, perhaps. Yeah, I'm just getting this feeling of potential. Potential is really coming through here very strongly. And what I'm also getting is I feel like you're manifesting so I'm feeling your ancestors all around you in this connection, and I almost feel like you've sort of manifested that. Like you've manifested a soul tribe to come in and bring this union together. And I'm also sort of getting this feeling that perhaps the two of you you and this person that you have all this intensity with, it almost feels like the two of you have the same soul tribe, that you have similar spirit guides or the same spirit guides or spirit guides who know each other. It's like that kind of vibe. You're moving into this energy of the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles is a card of a lot of longevity. So it feels like regardless if you two ever kind of bring into balance these feelings that you're having with each other, or if it always just remains a super intense relationship, regardless of that, it feels like it's kind of a long-lasting thing. It's a very long-lasting relationship. So you may already have a lot of history with this person. I wouldn't be surprised if you do, but I'm also getting a feeling that there's a whole lot more history in the making in front of you with this person. Like, this is not going to be or will be or has been a short-term relationship. This has been something that the two of you have gone around and around for a long time. But it does kind of give the feeling, because the 10 of Pentacles overall is a very successful energy. So it does give me the feeling that you're probably going to rise above some of these dark times that you're having with each other with this moon here, and getting more of the sun times, the energy of really appreciating and loving each other and just being happy, being the Queen of Wands with each other in her best light. But then I see you really doubting this whole situation. I get the sense that you're talking yourself into and out of this situation pretty much on a daily basis. I think that you are trying to stand for what you believe in, and you don't care what this person thinks, which is why I feel like this 3 of Swords here, it's like your person is kind of doing the same thing back to you, that your person is going to stand for what they believe in too, and they don't care what you think. And I feel like that's contributing to this intensity, kind of the dark intensity between the two of you. And so you're kind of just doubting that you're ever going to have total happiness with this person, because you're getting so frustrated with the fact that you can't get them to see your perspective on something. So, but let's see what's underneath. So then we have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Swords. And remember, our overall energy was the Queen of Swords. So you are really ready to take action. One way or another, you're thinking, okay, this is I'm either going to break up with this person for the last time, or we're going to fix this for good. It's like you're of one mind. With this Page of Swords, you're holding this one sword, and you're saying there's only one way to tackle this situation. And you here, this is what's on your mind. The Magician, which is the potential of the relationship, but also that this needs to happen. This needs to happen right now. And I think that you're trusting. So like, here's the sword that's on the table, and here you are holding this sword ready to use it. And I think that you're trusting that you have the resources here in order to tackle this challenge of this relationship. But it still feels like you're not really sure which direction to go in, because it's like, you're moving into this 10 of Pentacles. You're moving into this energy of, yes, we have long-term potential, but with this 8 of Swords that we saw, you're still doubting it. So with the Knight of Wands, it's giving very similar energy to the Page of Swords, in the sense that you feel like, okay, let's move on this already. I'm tired of waiting to see if this is going to improve or not. So what's going to happen? So there is these two energies, the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands, are very fast acting, very swiftly moving energies. So I almost want to tell you to take a breath and to slow down. Because there's a similar energy coming through here with the King of Swords, that there's this feeling that you just want to be done with this, that you want to trust these 8 swords. You want to trust the doubt that you're having, and you're saying, forget it. I want to be done with this. But there is this feeling here and a message here about being too rash, maybe in a situation, that you're too enmeshed in it. There's so much conflicting energy on my table right now with the sun and the moon and the 10 of Pentacles, but the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Wands, but the 3 of Swords. It's just everything on here. It feels like it's in contrast with each other. There's a lot of polarities on my table. So I'm inclined to say that you're too enmeshed in this, and to take a step back from the whole thing and try to see the bigger picture before you take any action as the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Because oftentimes the Page of Swords regrets their actions, and so does the Knight of Wands, and they're both showing up here. So the Page of Swords is essentially this person who has no experience with a sword, but they're swinging a sword around, and eventually somebody's going to get hurt, is the way I'm looking at this particular Page of Swords. And especially because they came in together. That there's so much chaos almost going on here that there's been no time to really stop and think about, okay, what is the most meaningful thing I could do in this situation? That's what I'm getting. But let's keep going. The Hanged Man, there it is. This is what I'm talking about. Justice and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so this is a lot slower energy. And this is what I was hoping we were getting to. Because the universe is really telling you that the environment around this situation right now is one where you should just chill. You have the Hanged Man. So just chill. Let it go. You don't have to make a decision. As much as you would love to make a decision right now, the universe is saying it's almost better that you don't. And I remember saying somewhere, I think with the 6 of Wands, I remember saying the universe was telling you to just pause, hit the pause button. I remember saying that. Well, the universe is saying that again with this Hanged Man. Just don't do anything. Just hang there upside down and just let it go. Just surrender the answer. It's not a yes. It's not a no. It's just, I'm letting go. I'm letting the universe guide me towards whatever this relationship is supposed to be. I don't need the intensity to stop today. And I also don't need to break up with this person today. Just let it be is what I'm really getting there. And there is also beauty in the Hanged Man, is that it gives you time to really call back your power and to call in your ancestors, who I know are all over this reading. So there's a really good energy there too for you to be able to do that. It feels like there is almost a need here for you to feel like things are fair. So there might be a shadow aspect there for you. That maybe you didn't always feel supported, maybe in your childhood, maybe in past relationships, that you just didn't, in some way or form, you didn't feel supported, or you didn't feel like things were fair. And it may be that you're putting that into this relationship, which is driving your need to be right and your person's need to be right. It seems like you have similar energies coming through here. So with the, with the Justice card here, it does feel like you really are concerned that it's not going to be fair, perhaps if you let your person win. But your outcome here is the Knight of Cups. So it feels like you're both sort of moving from this energy of this really passionate, we're all in, or we're all out, or we're passionately loving each other, or we're fighting like crazy with each other. You're moving more into this like romantic energy, where there's a lot more love going on. There's also a slight energy here too, which you might already be accustomed to with this person. It's not the overall arching energy that I'm getting from the Knight of Cups, but that if your person has been prone to love bombing you in the past, there's a little bit of a snarkiness coming off of this Knight of Cups here too, where it may be that if it's an overindulgence of love, to be maybe perhaps a little bit suspicious of that. But it doesn't feel overwhelming. It just feels like it could be a little bit not genuine. But that could just be because you both are still trying to heal from either what you've done to each other or past relationships. I'm getting with this Justice card that for you, it's more stemming from things in your past and even back into your childhood. So just consider that. But I do want to see what's underneath. So we have the Fool, the Two of Wands, and the Four of Wands. I like that the Four of Wands is coming through here with the Knight of Cups. So, but let's start back over here. So with the Hanged Man, we're getting this Fool energy. And the Fool is about taking a chance. So what I'm really getting from that is you taking a chance on not doing anything. Because over here, in this first 2/3 of this reading, there was a very strong feeling that you wanted to either end this thing or fix this thing, and there's no gray area. But it looks like you may be starting to take a risk here with the Fool on just not doing anything at all. The Hanged Man and the Fool is precisely that. It is you taking a chance on just surrendering this to the universe and saying, okay, as hard as it is for me to turn this over to you, universe, that is exactly what I'm going to do now. So that's the real feeling I'm getting from that. And also that you're trusting your inner world. You're trusting your third eye. You're trusting your ancestors. You know that there's mystical things around you. There are teachers in your energy. And that there are your ancestors perhaps know more than you do about this situation or about these kinds of situations in general that are making it seem like it's easier for you now to just surrender to that, to let that go, and that the universe is going to guide you. But with this sort of shadow aspect that I felt coming through here with the Justice, I'm getting it again with the Two of Wands in the sense that it feels like in the past, perhaps going back to your childhood, perhaps going back to previous relationships, that you felt like things weren't fair or that perhaps you weren't allowed to make your own decisions about things. And so it feels like there's this opportunity here for you to really make your own decisions. And by doing that, you're surrendering this whole situation to the universe, as we said. Also, this energy that's coming off of the Justice card and the Two of Wands together is giving a sense of balance and peace and harmony. And it feels like maybe perhaps in your past you never really experienced peace or balance or harmony in a relationship. And so when things are peaceful between the two of you, it might feel a little unknown. So that's coming through here too. That's not going to be for everyone, but I am getting that. But I love our outcome here. Our outcome is the Knight of Cups with the Four of Wands. This is a very romantic energy, and this is an energy of you reaching your milestones and having things to really celebrate with each other and to celebrate each other, which makes me feel that once you surrender this to the universe, then that's going to be sort of what puts a complete end to the karmic cycle that you guys are going through, that this karmic cycle has reached its limits. This is like the final straw. This is the last for the universe. All the universe wants you to do is to surrender. And that's like the last lesson that you have to learn, is to take a chance by just letting go, because you've not tried that yet, right? And a lot of times if we're stuck in karmic loops, the one thing that's going to work is the one thing that we've not yet tried. And in this case, it's just letting go and surrendering the whole relationship to the universe, to your ancestors, and see where it's going to go. So speaking of ancestors, I did channel some messages before this reading, so I kind of want to see what wants to come out, to see if there's things we missed or things we don't know. So we have emotional immaturity, and then we have competition. So those are kind of giving the same types of feelings and things that we've already kind of gone over, things that we've already talked about. Where with this Three of Swords energy, I was feeling that there's a need for both of you to really want to be right, which is a very competitive energy. And if you're in a competitive energy with a partner, then by just definition, it's inherently not going to work out. Partnerships are about cooperation and working together. So if you both have to be right all of the time, then there's not going to be harmony like we talked about. You're not going to be able to achieve this justice in the Two of Wands. You're not going to be able to reach that because you're too busy competing with each other. And with this emotional immaturity, it's making me think of how I was describing this Page of Swords, in the sense that you have this young person who doesn't know how to use a sword, but they're swinging their sword all over the place and somebody's going to get hurt. That's what I'm getting from emotional immaturity here too, is that there's just a sense to just chill. As we said, with the Hanged Man and the Fool, take a chance on just not doing that. You don't have to be right. You don't have to make decisions right now. Sometimes the wisest action is no action at all. So let's see. I do want to pull a Starseed card here too, because I am, again, feeling ancestors. And I don't know that you have Starseed ancestors, but let's see what these cards tell us. So we have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. And I was saying that with the energy of the Hanged Man. I said almost exactly this. I said there's mystical energy all around you. There's teachers all around you. And so I think this is confirmation from your ancestors that they are here and they are trying to communicate with you about this relationship. And then you then you have no, which says wait, postpone, pause, say no. And I said the universe is asking you to hit the pause button. I said that. The universe is asking you to just chill. So there's confirmation all over this reading. So I do want to get my big stack here of ancestor messages, because I'm so enamored with your ancestors right now, because they're very strongly coming through in this reading. So I just want to see if there's anything else here that we missed or something else they could say. Put it back together. So I think they're saying to put this relationship back together. And then we're getting blackmail, which is a really fascinating energy to get to round out the rest of this reading. But what I'm getting from that is, of course, not actual blackmail. But if there is an emotional type of blackmail coming through in this relationship, if that shadow side of you is that, if there's emotional manipulation, as I said, there was this feeling of maybe a bit of love bombing or a bit of snarkiness coming through. If there is that sense of one or both of you being any kind of like emotionally manipulative with each other, there's a clear sense that that's coming to an end here too. And that just to continue to believe in yourself, number one, and put yourself in that Hanged Man position and just wait, because your ancestors are coming through here so strongly that I think that if you just stop and go into your heart space and really listen, your ancestors are going to tell you exactly what to do in this relationship. But the one thing that is coming through so strongly that I can be very confident to tell you right now is just to pause. Don't break up. Don't do anything. Just pause and let your ancestors explain the next steps to you. So that is the reading. Wow, that was a really interesting one. Please let me know if this was your reading, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.